that we have probably 30% of the total traders that are trading that we go now on board on the Pulsex. Because if we take, for example, the fees are so low and we have limit orders that definitely they can trade. So, we as a whole, we think that, the Pulsex and the Pulsechain enthusiasts is, definitely going to be in the project. I think that there is going to be also thousands and most likely millions of people that are currently trading on different platforms, but for them it's going to be more profitable onboarding of the Pulsex. I know trading is bad, but generally speaking, that with such low fees,
The potential for the liquidity is going to be really cool since we're going to have Pulsex and Pulsechain and Hex. Like, it's wonderful to think about it, but we need to do it because I would be more bullish about being able to allow people to purchase our coins stablecoin than to just trade on Pulsex, because to burst our bubble, if it's that good, there's going to be Uniswap, but it's going to be very liquid because of those two pairs. So
but
just be careful.
but pretty much anything else from the beginning, what you're saying is that it won't have any like liquid. So basically, the more copies that are gonna be, so the liquidity won't be, if it won't be, let's say, any liquidity for the X token, that means that the traders won't be able to trade because there is actually a pair with a value, with the same price value.
Well, with the low fees, it just means that a lot can happen. So you could have a lot of liquidity, but you can have nothing because someone could just go in and out. People can go in and out as they please. So it would be even easier to manipulate the market because of the
Makes
low
sense.
fees.
Oh, makes sense.
Even though it doesn't really matter because it's not that low when you're doing that much money. But when it comes to little people
Hmm.
and little trades, they could, like, someone could just play with a $30,000 liquidity if they want with the low fees, and that could not be healthy.
But how is it bad? Is it bad for the project? Like, is it any problem? Isn't that exciting? Because I think also we're gonna take opportunity on buying something and trading in a way.
Every scenario is always affected due to the fact that it's easier to do transactions, right? Or
I
so we're
mean,
told.
yeah, in a way, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so like any situation, you just got to look at, like, well, what happens when it's easier with transactions? So then that can occur, but like I think it's gonna be, well, I don't understand how the community is rolling out in a way that they're like it's like they're more expecting having value than creating it. That's my take on, like, understanding on how people are talking. They're more concerned on having value than to create it, and that's going to be a problem, and a lot of people are not going to realize that because, like, what's going to have value at the beginning?
Yeah, nothing. Pretty much, we give it value, but also I think there is gonna be a gap that the first trades are gonna be made by devs or wells. That the or Richard itself maybe. And I think the transactions will be large. That's how sort of they're gonna put a high price on. They're gonna stamp things with price because I don't think like they're gonna allow to anybody just go and give trade. And I think from the beginning with the liquidity definitely is gonna be something that they're gonna do first, and we're gonna jump in and we're gonna have some 5-6 different tokens and coins with prices, and then slowly we're gonna see different coins popping up with prices. But I don't think how this is gonna work. And I don't know, even let's say if I have a token that I copy it and it has no price, but then it starts actually becoming having a price. Can I sell it? How can I sell it? Do I have to bridge it on the Ethereum network? What's going on? So loads of questions, and I'm looking forward to see and pretty much understand more, because we are we are all like lost in a way. We don't really know.
Well, no, not really, because like that's one big problem a lot of people talk about is like, oh, you're gonna pull it out and you're gonna take it out. Well, it's like, well, what are you gonna pull out?
No, okay, let's say I
You can only
copied.
pull
No,
out
yeah.
you can only pull out from the system what's already in it, right?
No, but what I'm trying to say is that I have, let's say, five years Z20s, and I change my RPC settings, and now I have the same amount of the pull chain network.
Yeah, you have let's say as an example, okay? Let's use as an example the most
Yeah.
common example everyone can understand. You have Hex, and then you're gonna have Hex on a Pulse chain. You have Hex on Ethereum, and now you have the copy of Hex on Pulse chain. What are you gonna do with Hex on Pulse chain? How are people like people need to
That's what I'm
understand
saying.
that, like,
I don't know.
when they pull out their Hex on Pulse chain, what do you think happens?
The liquidity goes down and the coin loses value.
No,
No.
you're bridging over hex on pulse, which is going to create a wrapped asset that has no value. So you always have to create a pool on each side. So like no one can technically take out anything that isn't in there. So like that's why the value is like a lot of people keeps like that's why I say like people are more focused on things being valuable than to create the value, because it's like, well, everyone's like, well, what's gonna happen when people can just get a lot and get out? Well, there's no getting out because there's nothing to get. If
Okay.
you could have as much liquidity as possible, and it
Let
doesn't mean that it's valuable. It just means that
Yeah.
like you're able to trade. So
Let
yeah,
me.
there will be trades because of the low fees, of course. But is it going to be valuable? You don't know, because what's the ratio between this and that and this and then it does like this massive like domino effect where everything else has to be this because that's this, and then it fixes the prices, and then there's going to be arbitrage, and then people are going to adjust the prices to what
But
fits.
let me ask you a question because you sound, way better than I do. So let's say I breach, as I said, let's say I have a coin, ERC20. Now I
Mm-hmm.
have it on the pool chain network as well,
Mm-hmm.
blockchain as well. So that means that in order for me to take, let's say, profit if I want in the future, people have to actually come and buy and put liquidity there. Even though I can see digital letters I have on my MetaMask, I can't really cash out or do nothing unless. Do I have to wait for someone else to purchase my coin in order for me to trade it and take profit?
No.
Are you talking Hex?
Well, no, but okay,
No,
but because
one
your word, you
one
want to
different
take.
token. Let's say Shiba Inu, for example, ERC20. I have let's say 10 billion on the Ethereum network. Now I got that
So
10
yeah, so
billion.
everything is different, right? So every protocol is different. Every platform that issues tokens is different, which means like, for example, when you stake Hex, right? You burn your Hex and then you mint at the end of your Hex again. So then there are different products like Shiba Inu, ERC20. You just buy it, you hold on to it, you can sell it. So like, you sell it to the system or you sell it to somebody in person. Like every system is different.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that, Richard said that we give the biggest airdrop. Why we give the biggest airdrop is because, let's say, if you have five different coins on the Ethereum network, that ERC20s, except Ethereum because it's going to be diluted 1 million percent, we're going to give you the same copies. There won't be any value, though, from the beginning. So what I'm saying is that I'm going to be the person that's going to bridge in 10 different coins, let's say, So if I see
You're
that
not
they still have
bridging.
the
No,
coins.
so, sir,
Yeah, let
sir.
me finish. Let me finish
Yeah,
so I
but
can tell you
for
what I'm
you
trying to say.
to comprehend, you have to understand what you're saying. You're saying you're gonna bridge in 10 different coins. You're not bridging
I didn't even
anything.
speak about Hex, bro. I never
No, no,
spoke
I'm
about
talking about
Hex.
full chain, right? You're saying like there's a fork, you get copies, right? And
Yeah,
so yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. A hard fork means you not doing anything. A hard fork means copy paste the entire blockchain over, right? That's
He's
what it
saying
means. So
he's
anything
bridging
you
in his
hold.
copies. He's bridging his copies, Porphyry.
but there will be the same value. Let's say if I have a coin on Ethereum network, I bridge it in. Now I got the same amount of coins on Pulsechain network. It will have the same value. That's what I'm
No, no,
saying.
no, 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 no,
And
no.
okay, it won't have any value. But from the beginning, I assume because I trade it, because I have it, now it has some sort of value. For me to take profit, let's say, and cash out from that coin that I don't want it, someone else must come and actually put liquidity in, trade it. You know what I mean? Because I have 10 different coins. Now I'm gonna have 10 different coins on the network. The 10 coins that I have that I'm bridging in from Ethereum, have some price. And Richard said, you're gonna get a copy. I get a copy. Does it have a value? Can I straight away, let's say, if I have 10k on, these coins, do I will have 20k now because I changed the network? That's what I'm trying to say.
So in regards to that, you got the price distribution after the window, which is like a 48-hour approximately where you can trade whatever you have on Pulse Chain. So that's based on ratio, right? And then once the price distribution happens, that's where you can look into this. Like you ask stuff that's gonna happen in the future that nobody knows, right? Not even.
Exactly. That's what I said from the beginning, that nobody pretty much knows. And
Yeah, nobody knows because here's the thing. So let's say you hold all your assets, you convert all your 10 assets into Ethereum, which is the dumbest thing to do. But let's assume you do,
but
right?
why?
No, but why I'm
I
telling
want
you.
my
So
copy.
let's say you have 100 ETH over there, right, on ETH network. Then when the fork happens, now you have 100 pulse sitting over there. If you want to bring your asset over to Pulse Chain and liquidate them on Ethereum network, that's something you have to I guess look at when it's doable, right? And after the AMM bot distributes the price, then you can gauge and say, does it make sense to buy in now? Will I get more? Is the network or the coin that you bring in over and you want to liquidate on ETH, is that project focusing on Pulse chain? Are they, reluctant to build on Pulse chain more? That's the time when you can say, does it make sense or
Yeah,
does it
but now
not?
we're speculating on trading too. But like, I want to understand something, Lucas. Can you explain to me what do you originally plan on doing currently, from what you understand?
Okay, yeah, because
I want to just understand where
because
you're coming from. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because Pac one said 100 if you have 100 thieves, it's stupid idea to
Regardless
access
of what
bridging
Richard
100
said
I
and
agree.
everyone told you, what have you
Yeah,
planned?
yeah,
What have
yeah.
you
Okay,
planned? And what are you
okay.
deciding on doing?
Yeah, I won't have any ETH, okay, because it's gonna be diluted 1 million
I
percent.
understand.
So on my yeah, on my
That's for
wallet,
sure.
I
That's
got
for sure. Yeah.
yeah on my wallet, I have loads of pool chain, loads of Pulsex, and I have different other projects going on that I'm gonna get the copies.
I understand.
So I'm saying pretty much now that
Do you
for
understand what the copies are, though?
yeah, the copies is if you have
No, no, no. But do you understand
hex, now
what
you
the
have p
copy
hex.
is? Like, because a
Yeah,
lot, like, do you understand that it's own coin, that it's different, it's not the same coin? Do you understand that?
yeah. So if it's let's say hex, it's gonna be p hex on bull chain network with just a p. That means that it symbolizes it's the same coin on different
No, no, no,
network.
no, 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 no,
No.
no, 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 no. So it's not gonna have p hex on network. So on Pulse chain, it's gonna be hex, and on Ethereum, it's gonna be
Yeah.
hex. You know why? Because both contracts are the same contract with the same deployer. They have the same everything. You have the same coins, but they're not the same, because when you take one and bring it to the other side, it's not the same coin. So what I mean by that is when you bring hex from Ethereum to Pulse, it's becoming ehex. And when you bring hex from Pulse chain to Ethereum, it's going to be called phex. They're two different coins. Ethereum hex and Ethereum Pulse never touch each other, and they're never the same coin, because they are technically the same coin. But
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
mind fuck, because when
What about the values now, though?
the value comes from the
I'm
ratio. So what's the value of hex? There's nothing backing hex dollar wise. So you can't say that hex is worth $5. You can't say that hex is worth 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents, because it's nothing backing it. What hex's value is because of the ratio that it has between hex ETH and hex and USDC and its liquidity pools. And there's an average. So what happens is that you're going to be able to create value by bridging in ETH ERC20s and pair them to PRC20s, but I don't like that. You know why? Well, because you could technically take your PRC20s and bring them to Ethereum and have liquidity there. So technically, I foreshadow people being able to purchase their Pulse
Can you
chain
actually do
and
it?
Pulsex on Ethereum.
Can we actually send
Yes, you
from
can. I
bull chain
actually did
network?
it on the test net, and I brought it up recently because it just popped in my face, and I was like, wow, I can't believe we never.
But how? Some projects have a limited supply. How
No,
we can
no. So
just
you have to
double the
understand.
supply?
Okay, so let's say I take hex and I bridge hex PRC20 from the Pulse chain and I bring it to Ethereum. It's not hex. It's not hex. It's going to be the wrapped version of hex on Pulse, because it's not the same contract. When you take hex from Ethereum,
Oh
that's why
right.
I'm saying you need to understand what the copy is. It's not a copy.
Question.
Yeah.
On coin market cap, so we're gonna see something that called hex, but it's gonna be p hex, a different with different address, contact address.
Yeah, like the way Zen is.
It's
So
with its own
Yeah.
chart, something separate.
Yeah.
yes,
So
it's his own blockchain, so it will have
yeah,
his
it's gonna
own
be
chart.
like Zen and Bzen and.
Oh, makes sense. Okay, but if I want to
But it's
sell it,
not gonna
if I
be
want
called
to,
p hex. It's gonna
yeah,
be hex,
yeah.
because it's the
So my
same
second question.
contract, the same utility, the same deployer, but it's just that you have the full system state in Pulse Chain. So you can't have Hex on Pulse Chain from another ecosystem. It's just like how Hex on Polygon is not real Hex because it's not deployed by the same contract.
Okay, so my second question now: if I have that coinlet, if I have AX coin on the pool chain, it will start with zero value, right? It won't have any value because maybe nobody traded, so I just have it
It's
sitting
not
there.
about having no one traded, is that there's nothing pair to value. So let's say someone goes ahead and takes Pulse Chain and brings it to Ethereum and pairs it to like anything. Well, whatever the ratio is between that and that thing, that's the price, whether we like it or not. That's how price is created.
That's why software is so hard. It's very hard thing to do,
Mhm.
and it's very hard thing to organize. Even
Well, it's
trust
actually
me,
very simple. It's just, it's not hard to do.
coding wise,
it,
and security wise.
it's more about like it's the complexity of the possibilities which are endless, because if you do one thing on one side then the other side is possible also. It's about denomination, right? So if you have a numerator and a denominator that always varies, then the possibilities always vary. So that's why crypto, when you're looking at it at a two-sided liquidity, it's very complicated because the possibilities are infinite, especially if both are appreciating and depreciating.
Very valuable. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. The upcoming project of Richard Hart, I hope it happens. About the wallet that he designs. I don't think if it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be physical, and also But what do you think? Do you think he does very special things? But what else? How else he can differentiate and improve something? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, MetaMask is owned by who again? Very rich guy, JP Morgan, right? Yeah. So there are like bad people behind stuff that we use today. Why not have something that's clean and doesn't have any backdoors, that's available to the community, created by someone that actually cares about the community? That's how I look at it at this point.
This is one of the things that makes it so special with Pulse Chain is it's kind of like you were saying, there's some of that who you interact with, how these things grow. If you like, we're immersed in these things, we get to see these things built. And because so many people in the community have stepped up in different ways, for what you're getting at is the reason those people don't do anything different is they're just doing what's normal. It's really difficult for someone to do something that's not normal. They're just going to go with the default. I've seen this in everywhere I've ever been, every industry. If you're selling cars and you say, okay, here's a list of options, people just freeze up. They have no idea. They'll be like, hey, I'll just take it the way it is on the floor. I've seen that if you go in everywhere, right? Like people don't like some of those choices. They don't want to make something that's abnormal. Some of that stuff is difficult. So one of the things that makes me so bullish about Pulse Chain is if you look at the people who are stepping up, who are putting in work, who are building protocols, they're making sure that what is normal on Pulse Chain is substantially better than what's normal anywhere else. So if you come on Pulse Chain, there's wallets, stable coins, yield, hex. Look at the participants and think about when everyone gets in, everyone remembers at post 2017 they got in crypto. What was normal on ETH for everybody? Think about how little they knew, what the stuff they got into, the rug pull, the this, the that, their level of connectivity. Imagine all the onboards, the people that we have that are waiting or people that are going to come in where Pulse Chain is their first experience, and think about what normal is going to be to them on Pulse Chain. Having Pulsex, seeing proof of stake, seeing such a community running validators, having stable coins that aren't backed by dollar, all of these different things that are being built, that's what's going to be normal for them. What's going to be normal for them is not having admin keys. What's going to be normal for them is transparency and audits. What's going to be normal for them is that the people who are building stuff there are accountable to everyone else. And if you don't like what somebody's building or you think there's something wrong, you can get in a Twitter space or a Telegram and you can lock horns with those people. At almost every single project, it's not that hard to get a hold of the founders of the team. You don't like what they're doing, you think what they're doing shady, then square up with them anywhere. Everyone's accessible. And so what's normal for us is going to be incredibly high quality and different to what's normal almost anywhere else in crypto. And I like to go look around in crypto. And so I have a pretty good idea on how a lot of these conversations go. And again, what this community sees as normal is extremely high quality and important.